Hey friends, so it took me so long, friends, so long to learn what I now understand in retrospect is a very simple lesson. And that is that what you allow is what will continue. What you settle for is what you'll get. And that's exactly what happened in several circumstances. I chose what was here and now versus looking ahead to something that could possibly be better later. I chose what was easy over what was hard. I chose what was available or presented to me versus what I really wanted. Some of it was impatience, some of it immaturity, some of it fear. Whatever the reason, the results were not surprising. I ended up spending a lot of time trying to pound square blocks into round holes, which, if you have ever tried to do this on one of those kids' puzzles, you already know that it doesn't work, no matter how much you want it to. Even if you are able to get that block wedged in there somehow, it's uncomfortable. It never sits right. It's really tough to get it out later. But most importantly, you still haven't accomplished the one goal that this thing has, and that's to solve the puzzle. So if you think about this in relation to life, it makes a lot of sense that you can't just continuously try to make things fit when they won't. There has to be a standard of some kind, because when you don't have that, when you don't have at least a minimum of acceptable in your life, you take what comes along and is available simply because it is there, not because it's what you want. Because, hey, something half-assed is better than nothing, right? Wrong. Having something puts a Band-Aid on your desire, perhaps, but it does not fulfill the actual want or need. It is this way of thinking that finds you living a story created for you by circumstance versus one you wrote yourself. It's this way of thinking that finds you wondering what the hell you're doing in situations you know you should not be in, or with people you know you should not be with. And even when you adapt because that's the only option you feel you have, you feel that dissatisfaction and unfulfillment. Something feels missing. This whole scenario sounds like it's kind of unavoidable, right? You make plans and life makes plans for you, and sometimes they are not even close to being the same plans. But it's really important that you understand that what your life becomes stems from a series of choices and the consequences of those choices. The choices you make you. And here's where the message comes in. When you make the choice not to accept the mediocre, not to settle, when you set your standards high versus just grabbing some low-hanging fruit because it is being dangled in front of you, here's where the difference lies. Having those high standards is going to give you high-quality experiences and so much more fulfillment than settling ever could. Does it mean that you have to work a little harder for your goals and wait a little longer for those good opportunities? Yes. Does it mean you may have to stay single a little longer until someone comes along who matches your loyalty and effort, who pours into you the same way you pour into them? Also, yes. Does it mean you may need to walk away from some people who are dragging you onto their struggle bus, or who treat you any which way they want because they do not value you, only what you can do for them? Yes, again. Is all of this worth the extra time, effort, and mental heavy lifting that it takes to assert your worth and stand firmly in what you deserve and accept nothing less? Absolutely. I mean, come on, friends. If you aren't going to, as the Wu-Tang said, protect your neck, then who is going to do it for you? And if you think that setting your standards high is going to make you miss out on something, let me just say this. The only things it's going to make you miss out on are things that are really not for you anyway. Placeholders. That word, by its very definition, means a person or thing that occupies the position or place of another person or thing. Set your standards high, and the high-quality experiences are bound to follow. Don't be afraid to wait for them. Don't be afraid to go for them. You deserve nothing less. Chewy? That's all Chewy has to say. That's all I've got for you as well. With that, I will have a new priority message for you next week. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye.